I tried to do research on it, but of course it's a taboo subject which is not spoke about, and we got a lot of case studies, and I could read through the case studies, and it was quite harrowing. But it's something. It was a story on a piece of paper, and it was only really when I met a sufferer of domestic violence that some of the issues that I couldn't get past really hit home, and actually to find out how often it happens, that it was a real issue that needed to be talked about. And Coronation Street does that so well that it gets people talking. But like I say, we're not following somebody's story, we're just trying to tell Tyrone and Kirsty's story, really. One thing that I personally couldn't get past is why did they stay in that relationship? And a lot of the research showed that they're isolated from the friends and family. Well, of course Tyrone has no family, and Kirsty isolated him from his friends, so he had nowhere to turn. And that was something that Coronation Street do really well. They give the story a real depth, and then the depth of Kirsty's family coming into it and showing that she's not had a great childhood, and Coronation Street provided us with that backstory, and it was fantastic. He just wants that stability of a family life, and of course when he got Jack and he found out it was Kevin's, he thought his whole world was fell apart then, but he had no idea what was in store for him next, obviously, and now he thinks he's got it again with Kirsty and Ruby, and of course this is now happening, and I just don't think he sees himself being happy, and it's actually quite sad, but maybe he will be happy with Fizz in the end. There's history there between Tyrone and Fizz. I think it was maybe 12 years ago when they was together. So yeah, it's been fantastic working with Jen again. Obviously we've been close mates ever since she started, and yeah, it's just like working with an old friend again, and it's added another dimension to what this story has spread out and affected a lot of people around the street as well. So it's just another dimension to a story that's twisted and turned all along the way, and there's still many more to come. She's nothing like Kirsty, you'll be happy to know, and there's no edge to her. She gets on with her work, and she's just fantastic. And those scenes, 1 minute she'll be fine, and bang, she snaps, and the eyes, and she's a joy to work with day in, day out. And so it's made the storyline all the more enjoyable. There's been plenty of twists along the way in this story, and this is a huge, climactic twist, if you like. And of course people will believe that because that's the domestic violence that everybody hears about, really, the woman being the victim and the male being the perpetrator, so people would be more inclined to believe that. And of course he doesn't see any way out, he doesn't see anybody to turn to, even though he's got Fizz and Tina and Tommy. He thinks he's all alone, and so yeah, it's just Tyrone really finding himself in yet another dark place.